find the following derivatives, we're going to use the chain rule here. First, doesn't matter what it is inside the parentheses. In general, I will just write derivative of y is going to be equal to, like I said, inside the parentheses doesn't matter. The power rule, derivative of something to the fourth is something cubed, and then derivative of whatever that is inside the parentheses. Alright, so inside the parentheses we have 7x plus 8. So we have 7x plus 8. For that part we don't do anything because we already took care of the derivative. And now we just need to take derivative of this, which is just 7x plus 8. Derivative of that is just 7. We have 4 times 7x plus 8 cubed. And then derivative of 7x plus 8 is going to be 7. So 4 times 7x plus 8 cubed times 7. We can multiply the 4 and the 7. So that gives us 28. 7x plus 8 to the third power. So that is 7x plus 8 cube. Right. So that's the first one. Next, we have derivative of cosine of x cubed plus 1. We're going to ignore inside the parentheses here because derivative in general, derivative of cosine is negative sine of something, and derivative of that something. So we have x cubed plus 1 into it. Now we take derivative of x cubed plus 1 only. This doesn't have any derivative in it, so we're done. Just need to take derivative of x cubed plus 1. So negative sine of x cubed plus 1. Derivative of x cubed plus 1 is 3x squared. And so that's pretty much it. The only thing we can do is, if we write the 3x squared in front of the sine x right after the negative, then we don't have to write this parentheses. So that's what we have. Right. The next one is also using the chain rule. So we can rewrite this as sine x plus 1 to the 1/2, or we just keep the square root. Right. Now we take derivative. We can ignore what inside of the parentheses of inside the square root or inside the parentheses here. So we just have 1/2 of that, and then the power rule, the original power, subtract 1, so we have negative 1/2. And then derivative of the parentheses, doesn't matter what it is inside, we always have to have this. That is the chain rule. So derivative in terms of the parentheses and derivative of the parentheses, that is the chain rule. Now we have sine x plus 1 in it. course this doesn't have derivative, so we don't do anything with it, except the negative 1/2 power. It would be nice if we just bring it down at the denominator, so we don't have the negative exponent anymore. So we have 1, the bottom we have 2 sine x plus 1 to the 1/2, and then sine x plus 1, derivative of sine x is cosine x. And then when we multiply, we can just put the cosine of x on the top. And then the 1/2 power we can rewrite as a square root. Right. Just one thing to note, when we take derivative of this, like I said, we're gonna ignore what inside the parentheses for a moment, and we just take derivative, and so will be that. Just one thing though, when we substitute in, we don't take derivative yet, so both of inside the parentheses is just sine x plus 1, so we just put sine x plus 1. Those two are the same, and we don't take derivative of those terms yet. Just like this, we don't take derivative of it yet. Whatever inside the parentheses, we just substitute in, and we will take derivative in the next step. So that's what we have.